What's up everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for being here. My name is Logan. If you have not yet, please do consider subscribing, leave a like, leave a comment, let me know what you think about these. So, March has been absolutely packed with Yeezy releases, like 8 or 9 releases, but these are the ones that I was kind of most excited for. But if you don't notice, or you've never seen Yeezys before, this box is a little bit different. There is nothing printed on the outside. It just has this one little tag on there saying what size they are. It doesn't even say what they are. But when you open them up, it's very apparent what these are. So as you can see, it says foam on the lid, and then each shoe is wrapped individually. I'll take those out, put them off to the side for a sec. And you can see R and an R for runner, and then in the very bottom of the box, you can see in the bottom that these are a size 8 in the MX. What do they put there? MX MOGR for all 3 colorways, but these are the MXT foam runners, and the box is a little bit different. It's also very thin. This is part of Adidas and Kanye's, or Yeezy, whatever you want to say, if you want to say it's him or his brand. It is their initiative to lowering shipping supplies and being wasteful with shipping materials and stuff, so this box is much thinner and it's a little bit different than what we're used to. It does have some printing on the bottom. Actually, I lied, it does say Adidas on the bottom. I just never noticed that. And then here are the 2 sneakers that are inside. So I'm probably going to cut because it's really crunchy and crinkly, and then you'll see these in all their glory. I probably won't cut. Honestly, I probably won't have cut. I don't know why I said that. It wasn't that loud. But here they are, and I have to be honest with you. I thought that I was going to not like these as much as I do, but I am kind of obsessed with them at this point, and I'm really disappointed. If you didn't see, I got a size 8, and I'm not a size 8, I'm a size 9, so these don't fit me that well. My foot can get in them, and they are still comfortable, but I won't be keeping these because I need a size 9, and maybe I'll be able to trade for them or just sell these and buy a size 9 for the same cost, hopefully. I'm not really sure. First, before we get into the actual sneaker though, you can see that it has this threaded little attachment here, just like the previous Yeezys, with the hang tag with the information for the sneakers. You can see there that it says foam runner. And as I said, these are the Moon Gray colorway, which seems to have been the more widely produced version of the shoe, and we'll get into that in a minute because I think I know the reason for that, but I haven't really seen that many people do reviews on the Sand colorway, which released at the same time as the Moon Grays, and honestly, I like these more. The Sand colorway was a lot like the original colorway, the Ararat, or however you pronounce it, like super similar, so I really wanted this colorway because it has a little bit more style, flair, I don't know whatever you want to call it, but I really like these. I like how it's kind of marbled in. None of them are going to be exactly the same, even between the 2 pairs here, neither are the same, and I like that. I like when shoes are actually individual. So if you don't know, which you probably do know because you're watching this video, but the foam runner and the algae-based EVA foam mix, composite, whatever you want to call it, is their entry into a more sustainable material for creating sneakers. So this is all one piece, and they're really, really surprisingly awesome. Like, I can't downplay that enough. I feel like Yeezy and Adidas are really the only company out there doing stuff like this, where they're really pushing what a sneaker is and what it can be, and this is the perfect example of mixing technology and actually producing a sneaker that people want, which is important. People have to want them, and actually making enough of them to even justify making them. So really there's 2 versions of these. There's this one, which is unfortunately made in China, and then the Sand colorway, as well as the original colorway, the Ararat, were made in USA, which is a huge deal for sneakers to be made in USA, and the retail cost on these is only $80. So getting a sneaker, a brand name sneaker, Yeezy, made in USA for $80 is insane. Even if you don't like these, that is really a feat that is incredible for the company and just for sneakers in general. But as I said, this pair, as you can see here, is stamped with made in China. The sand colorway as well as the original colorway are both made in USA. So I am pretty positive that these still have the mixture of the algae and EVA foam, but they were made in China, so I don't know what kind of that means for production, whether or not they like ship the algae from the US where they're like harvesting it, or if there is an algae farm or however it's collected or grown in China where they also utilized it for this. So I'm not really sure about that. I'm going to be completely honest with you. They don't really give us a whole lot of info, and I don't think many people actually know that one is made in China and one is made in the USA. And I think it may have something to do with the blending of this colorway. Maybe I don't know, I don't want to call it a factory, but the production facility in the USA may not be capable of doing this mixture throughout the shoe, and they can only do the solid colors in the US. I am not sure, so if you know, please do leave a comment and let me know, because I did try and find what was going on, and I found very minimal information, so I would be interested to know if you know something that I don't know. Like I said, am obsessed with these. They are so weird and so crazy, futuristic. These are called moon gray. Like, I could definitely see these like being worn on the moon or on Mars or wherever in space. And the materials used for it are also, you know, technologically advanced, and it really is, it's just really cool. I love that they're doing something different, and either you hate these or you love these. I have to be honest with you, I did not like them when I first saw them. I felt like this is a shoe that literally only Kanye West could pull off because he's Kanye West. But now that I have them in hand and I've had them on foot, I'm not exactly sure how to style them, but I think you would just style them however you would style a gray and white sneaker. Like, it's really not that big of a deal. Once you get them on your foot, you really kind of feel like they belong there, and that's super important to understand and feel when something is on your foot when it's a new design. It doesn't feel out of place, and these actually do not feel out of place on your feet. So now we'll actually take a look at the sneaker itself. We'll start with the top. You can see that like the toe area on both of these is the solid gray, the moon gray color, and then it slowly kind of gets this white colorway almost like mixed in it. You know, it looks like it's ice cream that got mixed together, and it just feels really natural. Like, it doesn't feel like it was an afterthought. It seems like this is almost like a living thing, and the colorway, the white color, was kind of brushed in there, or it like grew in there. I don't know. It's really hard to explain these until you have them in person, and then I think people will understand them. I am amazed by these. But as I was saying, at the toe, it's this gray where it has this kind of wavy pattern for the openings. Obviously, this sneaker has a ton of holes in it all over the place. The lateral and the medial sides, the holes are all exactly the same, so it is very symmetric, which also I think helps it to feel very natural on your foot. And then near the midsole, you have these kind of oval openings, which very much mimic the 700s, and that's obviously intentional. It also, here, it's, you know, you kind of have to use your imagination, but there's 3 stripes here, so the openings are the 3 Adidas stripes. Like, the design that went into this sneaker is just insane, and I'm still just blown away by it. I also remember an interview with Kanye or with Steve where they talked about this opening and how they wanted something more comfortable, because you have a muscle on the front of your foot that is always hitting a tongue on most sneakers, and with this they cut it out. There is no tongue, and it is insanely comfortable. Like, that is kind of how it should feel. Like, you should have this space for your foot to move around and for your muscles to bend and do whatever they need to do while you're walking, and not be rubbing up against a tongue on a sneaker. As I said, this is all one piece. There is, you know, like a line around the whole bottom of the sneaker, kind of where we would differentiate the outsole from the upper, but they're all one piece. That's just from the mold. And if you see right here, you can see where the foam was injected into the mold. So these truly are one piece, and just super cool how that is kind of all tied in together. If we look at the footbed, you can see that there is a kind of texture to it, and I thought that that would be uncomfortable on your foot, but you actually don't feel it at all. If we move to the bottom, you can see kind of this wave pattern, and it actually is very grippy. You wouldn't think it's grippy, but I don't feel like these slide around at all. They're actually very stable, and then very reminiscent of all the other Yeezys where you have these little pockets where you would see boost traditionally on a lot of Yeezys, but you just see more foam on these. And then the only branding on this entire shoe is in that back little spot there where it says Adidas. And if you notice, this is a very flexible sneaker, but it's only flexible where they kind of want it to be. So this is, you know, it's rubber, like you can bend this whole thing. There isn't any real structure to it, but it's sturdy enough in like the heel area and in the toe that you don't feel like there is no support. There is actually support. It is more flexible and thinner through what I would call like the paneling on the side. It's much thinner here than it is in the heel and back here. This is actually probably an inch thick between the bottom of where your heel would be and the actual outsole. So to talk about sizing really quick, otherwise I'm just going to keep talking about how much I love these. The sizing on these is kind of strange because these are both a US 8 and a UK 8, and normally there's about a half size difference between US and UK sizing. This is a 42 in European sizing. There are no half sizes in the foam runners, and I think the reason for that is because it's kind of an in-between size itself. Like I would consider these more of an 8.5 because I'm a 9, but I can wear these. Not super comfortably, but I can. I should have bought a 9, and I think a 9 would be perfect. Normally in Yeezys, I'm a 9.5, but I think the 9 would have been the size for me to buy. So I don't really know how to explain this because it's really confusing, but I think if you're an 8 or an 8.5, I would say get the 8. If you're a 9 or a 9.5, get the 9. 10, 10.5, get the 10. I think there's a little bit of leeway between the sizing. I think that may be why they didn't do half sizes, because it wouldn't have been like a substantial difference between a 9 and a 9.5, because the 9 is kind of loose because there really isn't any padding or anything in here. So the 9 is basically a 9.5 or a 9. With maybe a little more space. Hopefully that made sense and helped you if you're trying to figure out the sizing. Bottom line, I'm a 9, I got an 8, I fit in them, but not comfortably. I should have got a 9. I'm normally a 9.5 in Yeezys. So to talk about comfort though, these are extremely comfortable. They're not quite like Boost, but they're basically as close as you're gonna get to Boost. The whole sneaker is the same material. So really you have comfort all around your foot as opposed to normally having an upper of other textiles rather than just the foam Boost. This is just foam all around and they are insanely comfortable. I could wear this all day long if I wanted to. So let me know, do you hate these? Do you love these? Do you think these are the ugliest things in the world? I showed these to my mom and my girlfriend and they thought that they were absolutely the ugliest thing that they had ever seen on my foot, or not even on my foot, because they really do look like alien shoes or like dinosaur feet, or who knows what your imagination takes you to with these. But I think that is the allure and why these are so awesome, is because there isn't anything else like these, and that's why they're so cool. So let me know what you think about them. Good luck on your next cop. Take care.